crossroads of major shipping routes in Southeast Asia has made it a crucial hub for international trade and transportation. Singapore's pro-business environment, characterized by stability, efficient governance, low corruption, and a robust legal framework, attracts both local and foreign investments, fostering a vibrant business ecosystem. Additionally, Singapore's strong financial hub, highly skilled workforce, proactive government policies, openness to international trade, and world-class infrastructure contribute to its economic prominence. But much like Singapore in Asia, Kenya has also emerged as a dominant continental force economically. As Kenya steadily emerges as a rising economic force in Africa, it raises the question, could Kenya be the next Singapore? Hello and welcome. This is Rain Smith, and you are watching the New Africa channel. Several experts agree that of all the countries in sub-Saharan Africa to be optimistic about, the most promising is Kenya. This is because economic and political variables are combining to put Africa's seventh largest country in a comparatively advantageous position. Africa is the fastest growing continent, with a quarter of the world's population predicted to live there by 2050. This means that more international firms recognize the necessity for a direct presence in sub-Saharan Africa. Many of these corporations have already recognized the need of having a presence in Asia, with Singapore proving to be a popular hub, especially now that Hong Kong has been annexed into communist China. Where in Africa might a similar concentration of businesses emerge? Unfortunately, some of Africa's most powerful nations are facing some serious challenges. Economic growth in Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, has slowed, and the country has just recently begun to implement much-needed reforms. Ethiopia, the second most populous country on the continent, recently ended a civil war, is politically unstable, and is currently enduring its worst drought in recent history. Meanwhile, South Africa, one of the favorite investment destinations on the continent, is enduring its fair share of political troubles and power cuts, the latter so severe that Eskom estimates it reduced the entire nation's GDP by 5% in 2022. Therefore, for the time being, those locations are unlikely to become a major sub-Saharan economic powerhouse, if only because expats will be hesitant to relocate there. A location with a respectable degree of English proficiency and an appealing year-round environment, on the other hand, will draw a lot of attention, and that well defines Kenya. Kenya grew at a 5.5% annual rate last year, despite negative shocks to import food and energy prices. Since 2004, growth rates have been in the 4% to 5% range. What's more, just like Singapore, Kenya has great geographical advantages. It has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean, and research shows that landlocked countries perform badly economically. Countries with coastlines find it easier to connect with the rest of the globe, and Kenya has relatively easy access to China and India, both of which have substantial markets and sources of cash. East Africa is drawing greater interest from more sources than most of West Africa in the current geopolitical situation. In terms of scale, Kenya's population of about 57 million cannot compete with Nigeria's 222 million. But East Africa, with almost 500 million people, has a larger population than West Africa.